Good afternoon, Pokemon fans and Draft Elite players like this is Blazeman, and today I'm bringing you our Week 6 battle for the LPDL, or the Little Cup Draft League as it is also known. So in Week 6 we are taking on the Commissioner himself, Puppy Pound, or Pup as he is also known. So yeah, after a commanding victory in Week 5 versus Nova, we are hoping to continue our win streak on this week and hopefully be able to clutch up because this is a 7-week season, we're hoping to clutch up 4-2 as our record and be able to make the playoffs, which will be good because this team has been fun. So I'm hoping to continue this streak going. Yeah, so just apologies for the lack of videos over the last month. There's been no videos, I'm aware of this. There's been a lot going on in the new year. To start the new year off, there's been a lot of family work related busyness for myself. So yeah, but we're jumping back into this season. We're going to finish it off strong this week. So we're taking on Pup, and as you can see, this team is not very threatening in a way, but Pup is a very smart little cup player, one of the best in the format, no question, both Wi-Fi and on SD, I would imagine. So as you can see, he has got Stunky and Crabrawler, which together are a very disgusting combination because there really are no switch-ins to either of these two in the entire format. Fletchling is disgusting again, Gale Wings with priority flying type moves, and of course it can have Terra, so it can be any type that it needs. If it's a particularly flying weak team, it can be flying, or it can be any other type really to get around the switches to flying. Magnemite is a very scary mon. Of course, Steel plus Electric is very good in low tier due to the shitty amount of ground types, anything defensive switching. Froaky's good, again Protein, Sash, good coverage, it gets U-turn pivoting, so it's always good. Rhyperior, Rhyhorn is just a good defensive Pokemon. Obviously it's got a lot of quad weaknesses, but Pup has great switch-ins to those weaknesses. Again, Rock Setter can be Rock Polish weakness policy, but we'll have to see what he brings. We've got Inkay next, a great Scarfer. I don't really know what it does apart from that. I know it can obviously get contrary superpower, but I don't think that makes sense. I think my team is quite weak to Dark, so I do expect some sort of Scarf set, potentially with knockoff. We'll see. Poltergeist again, massive threat. Just good dual stab into my team. And Chopper, I think, being annoying, its dual priority could be an issue, and my only resist to Dark is a soft check in Meowth. Without only Terrors, obviously. If I Terra Larvesta into Fairy, that should be a bit better, but that's if I bring it. So we'll jump into the team here. As I've mentioned just a minute ago, I am bringing Terra Fairy Larvesta with Flame Charge, Terra Blast, Acrobatics, and Morning Sun. Again, Flame Charge, Terra Blast does really well into this team. Acrobatics mainly for the Poltergeist, with it having the ability to be heat proof, so it can resist Flame Charge. Hoping to lead off with this. If not, it's going to be a great switch into the Crabrawler. Get off a Flame Charge or two and be able to just tear holes in Pup's team. Again, the only switching will be that Rhyhorn. Pup doesn't really switch into this mon otherwise. Same going for double time. Our Doduo here going to be Choice Scarf because we're going to be outspeeding the Crabrawler always, so it's never a threat. We can always kill it. With Brave Bird, and we've got Knockoff just for good removal. Low Kick for the Rhyhorn, and Quick Attack just for any priority. We've got O'Malley here, our Meowthalola, rocking Mix this week with Chilling Water, Dark Pulse, Knockoff, Play Off. Play Off is always going to be our best way to hit the Crabrawler. We don't get any special fairy coverage. Chilling Water for the Stunky, and then Knockoff plus Dark Pulse is good coverage for the team. We've got Outlet here, our team captain, the Elekid, rocking his Eevee Light this week with Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Knockoff. Again, Volt Switch and Thunderbolt, good coverage into this team. We got Focus Blast for the Magnemite and the Rhyhorn, and then Knockoff for any item removal. We're rocking our other Eevee Light mon this week. We've got Kenny, our Tentacle, with Sludge Wave, Surf, Flip Turn, Rapid Spin. Again, Flip Turn is always good for pivoting, and Surf and Sludge Wave do decently into this team. Rapid Spin just in case he wants to set any hazards with his Rhyhorn. And then last but not least, we've got our Bucket and Spade, our Sandygast, rocking the Oranberry this week. Shadow Ball, Earth Power, Ancient Power, and Stealth Rock. Can take one hit from a lot of the mons on this team. And then we've got Earth Power for the Stunky, of course, everything else. And we've got Shadow Ball for the Poltergeist and Agent Power for the Fletchling, just so it's not free switching. And yeah, we're hopefully going to get our rocks and do some numbers with this team. So that is the team we have for this week. Hoping to win with either Doduo or Larvesta this week. So I will jump into the battle and I'll see you there. Peace. So just jumping into the battle here versus Pup. as we are going to see, he does elect to bring the Rhyhorn, the Crabrawler, Inkay this Terra Dark, Froakie, Shuppet, and Stunky. I did expect Fletchling, but I can see why he didn't bring it. But all these mons do make sense. I'm going to look to lead off with my Meowth here. It is just the best lead, I feel, into Pup. And as we are going to see, he does elect to lead off with the Shuppet. So I'm just going to click knock off, because this gives me free removal of an item. He could be Sash lead, which is probably why he led with it, because he is Sash. But I still thread it out and get a big knock off on something here, which is more than likely going to be the Crabrawler, as we do see. That is Eviolite for sure. And as he does see that I'm Life Orb, I'm going to switch out because I have no need to stay in here. And I can bring in my Larvesta on this Crabrawler. And I can start setting up some flame charges. No Poltergeist, which means I don't actually have to worry about heat proof. So I can just start setting up flame charge and hopefully we can do some work here. Oh dear. I'm probably going to see a knockoff here from my opponent if I had to guess, which we do, which is why I'm itemless, because knockoff does not a lot of damage, as you can see. So I'm going to elect to get the Terra off here and go for the flame charge, as my opponent probably, if he has bulk up, he'll go for it. If not, he's going to go for he's probably going to go for Earthquake if I had to guess. He might not go for the Poison Jab straight away because I could stay in my non-Terra form. Oh dear, but this one is an absolute massive threat. Yeah, bulk up or just choice banded. It's a threat that needs to be very much respected, and something that I found out during building, that this mon is just a fucking nightmare. So as we can see, we are going to get the Terra Fairy off here. We are just going to go for the Flame Charge, which does a massive crit, which is a lot of damage. And we are going to see that the Crabrawler actually crits me with an Earthquake, which is fucking massive. Because Larvesta obviously was a great threat to this team. And just have it around again just makes Inkay less of a problem because it is Terra Dark. So losing my Larvesta on a turn 2 crit. Yeah, turn 2 crit is really shit, if I'm honest. It's not something I'm happy about, so we are going to be able to trade a crab. I really would have liked to have kept that my Larvesta around because it was going to be so good for the rest of his team. Because now we are looking realistically super fucking weak to Scarf Inkay, because obviously I don't have switch-ins because it can just knock off all my items. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully we can still pull out the W here, and hopefully we can do some damage. So we do see that the Froakie is going to switch in here. Now I'm not sure if this thing is Scarf or if it's Sash or what it is. So I'm going to switch out here with my Meowth, because my Meowth, I do really need it. And I can just go into my Tentacle, where the only issue is if he U-turns, it's going to be it is a no drawback play here for him, but I can't really risk my Meowth just at the minute, which we do see the U-turn come out here, which gives Pup all the switch initiative in the world to switch into whatever he wants, and he can just really take advantage of that crit there and just really start to be a pain in the arse with something, as Pup does. So we're going to see what he goes into. If I had to guess, he's probably going to go into the Stunky, because it does do well. He actually goes into the Shuppet, which is not something I expected, but he's probably going to try and get off a knockoff, which means I'm going to have to go into my probably going to go into my Doduo here, expecting the Poltergeist, but I'm just going to slow flip turn, as we do see we're actually faster, because this is probably not got a lot of speed on it. So yeah, this is a tough switch in here, because this Shuppet can do a lot of damage, and I don't really want to lose my Scarf on my Doduo here. But yeah, so we are going to we are going to go into White Liquid here, which is the only reason I want to go into it, in case my opponent goes for the physical move. We can get the static power on it and hopefully try and take it out. But we do see that my opponent does just go for the Poltergeist, which does a crap ton of damage. So I'm going to go for the knockoff, but unfortunately I forgot this thing does get a Sucker Punch. Or these, look at it, it's just spent this. So hopefully my opponent doesn't go for it, because we do live a Shadow Sneak, but we don't live a Sucker Punch, which would be rough. I was going to try and predict with Doduo there, but yeah, so as the Elekid is going to go down to yet another Sucker Punch here. It's not having much fun with living Sucker Punches this season. Unfortunately, I do just end up sacking my Elekid for not for not no reason, but not for a great deal of... I don't get much out of that turn. And Pup can just kind of throw this mon away. No, he doesn't have to keep it around because he has bigger threats in the back. But yeah, no Magnemite kind of led me to get rid of this, to not let Elika go, but to be the most expendable Pokemon. As we do see the shop, it was actually Focus Sash. So it was a Sash lead, as I had predicted. Yeah, I'm not happy that we've lost that. I think it all we got crit, but we're going to try and bring this battle back and see what we can do here against Pup. And hopefully we can... bring this back, but we shall see. So I think Pup will probably bring in his Inkay here. This is like prime time to get off his Terra Dark and go for the play rough, as we do, and we do see Inkay coming in here. I am going to elect to stay in here because this is my best chance of living a knockoff, because nothing else is going to live a knockoff on my team. He's going to get a kill, so I'm gonna stay in here and go for the play rough. I'm going to stand and go for the play rough, but I think this is going to win, because this Terra Dark Inkay does a lot of damage to me, and my Meowth obviously is not very bulky at all. It's quite the opposite, as you see. The knockoff is just going to be able to kill us from that range, and this is just a great set by Pup. I didn't really have much to stop this, to be honest. Pup's team was intricately made in a way where my team doesn't really have much of a great matchup, especially with that crit, because I would have been able to keep Larvesta around and just done so much damage. Now we are going to bring in our Dodo. I really should go for the... I really should predict that... I should have predicted that he was going to go into his Rhyhorn. But I just thought if he stays in and tries to knock off my Scarf, he's going to go for the late end game. But obviously he has no reason to stay in, as we do see that he just switches out into his Rhyhorn here. So I should have actually doubled into my Sandygast at this point. But I was a bit pissed off from the crit. So I'm going to be able to go into my Sandygast here. Nothing this Rhyhorn can do to me is really worrying, apart from the fact that obviously he can set his rocks, but he doesn't have a Ghost Tap anymore, so I can spin them away. A double would have been nice there, but it's not the end of the world that I didn't go for a double. Again, I really wanted to make sure that Inkay wouldn't have been a threat, and I do have good switch-ins to this Rhyhorn still. Obviously nothing on this team really wants to take an Earth Power. As you see that Earthquake, we can live one in return and just be able to kill something off with an Earth Power. Because this team does not have good switches to Earth Power, it's probably going to be the Froakie if I had to guess. Because that is a Mon that can really threaten my team here. This Rhyhorn I'm not too worried about. I can just OHKO it with an Earth Power. I think Eviolite still dies because I do have a fair amount of special attack investment on my Sandcastle here. As we are going to see Pup clearly switch out. He's probably going to go into his... He goes into his Inkay, which is surprising, but fair enough. As this thing barely fucking lives. I think I actually still died because he's Terra Dark, but I do decide to stay in here because I don't have an item anymore, so I have a better chance of living this, but I think it's still going to kill me because it is Terra Dark. And it's just going to do a shit ton of damage, as you will see here. This is a very powerful hit, and even though I am nearly max Fizz Def and I don't have an item, it still just OHKOs me. So we are going to go into Doduo here, and I think I predict him double now, because obviously I predict the Rhyhorn to come in here, which again, he has no reason to sack off his Inkay. He knows it can win late game, and he knows that he can go to Rhyhorn freely. So I tried to make a double here just to get myself a little bit of a better differential. And as I think he stays in, or no, he switched. No, he does actually stay in, which is a great play by Pup, predicting me to switch out. Again, I had to make a prediction there to try and get ahead, but unfortunately we are going to lose 3-0 to Pup here. Again, if I'd have stayed in, I mean, it would have been tough because the Rhyhorn would have come in and just bop my tentacle with an earthquake anyway, so we are going to get the 3-0 win here. 3-0 loss, sorry, against Pup. Yeah, that in-case set was just a really great bring, and after my Larvesta went down, there wasn't much I could do about it, to be honest with you. I didn't have good Dark Switchings, that's why I brought Terra Fairy. So we are going to see that does negative damage, and he is going to just land the Rock Blast. And we are going to go to 3 and... No, we're going to go to 3 and 3, so hopefully we can bounce back next week, go 4 and 3, and pick up a win to confirm us into playoffs. But yeah, so this has been Blazeman. I will sign off, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace and love as always. Bye.